From the roads of Syria to halls of the PhD program, our today's guest is a true example of how ambition can overpower any circumstance. She has not just traveled miles, she has navigated cultures, challenges, and changes. And despite it all, she's here today. So today's story is as much as about resilience as it is about science. So let's go. Hello, Mera. How are you?
Fine, and you? How are you?
I'm doing really good, and thank you so much for making the time to join us on the podcast. And she's a PhD student at Technical University of Darmstadt. So, can you please introduce yourself? Where are you from? When did you come to Germany?
Okay, let us start. First of all, my full name is Marih Mahmoud, and I came from Syria, and I am 28 years old. I am now in my second year of PhD, and I have a bachelor degree in pharmacy. I did it in my home country in Syria and in the capital, Damascus, Faculty of Pharmacy, Damascus University. And by the time I finished my bachelor, I decided to change the place where I did my bachelor and to go to another country. It was my first experience to travel out from my country, and I decided to go to Russia because it was the easiest place actually to get the visa. I got the visa and I traveled there. I studied the language. I After that I managed to speak it, and I applied to a scholarship in the meantime while I was studying Russian language. I got a scholarship from the Russian Federation, and I started my master's degree in biotechnology, medical biotechnology. I finished my master's in 2022, and after that I was really confused about what to do. For that, I applied to a scholarship in Russia. I got it, and I applied afterward to some places in Europe, and I got it. My current scholarship, which is DAAD, and now I am doing my PhD in cell biology and epigenetics in Cardozo Lab in Technical University of Darmstadt. I am really happy, and I really like this experience. And I guess that I have two good experience of traveling in Russia and then in Germany. The reason that pushed me is just to change the place where I did my master is that I like to try another places, to learn more, to travel, to do something else. And my discipline now in PhD is something totally different from what I did in masters and even what I did in bachelor.
Okay, so I want to start from the starting. So, since
Oh,
you are from Syria, so how was your experience of your bachelor's in Syria? Because now we all know what's going on in Syria, and you have your foundation in Syria, and you did your bachelor in Syria. So, how was it in Syria? Was it like normal that time, or you still had any, restrictions upon what you can wear, what you can do, how much you can study? How was it in Syria that time?
To be honest, it was a bit challenging by that time since the war was already on, and we were really feeling sometimes afraid to go out from home or from the explosions or bombs. And beside that, we really suffered from the electricity issues since we didn't have enough electricity every day. For that, and it was really hot there in summer or even in spring time. For that, and beside that, all we have the problem of gas, and we were not really able to go to university all the time or use the transportations or our cars even because we didn't have enough. It was risky in the first 3 years, but afterwards, in the last, it turned like better. But anyways, it's still very challenging, and I really feel really proud of people who could, from my country, especially women who could finish on time within this period because it was really challenging. Now I think it's really even worse than before because still the war not really ended, and I can really say that I hope everybody can chance that I took it because I really took a better one, like to do my master's and my PhD too.
Okay, so now when you were doing your bachelor's in Syria and you wanted to move for a master's, right? And you did your master's in Russia.
Mhm.
So basically, when you were applying for fellowship and then for visa, so being from Syria, how difficult was it for you to apply for a visa for Russia for studying? And then also along with that, you got a scholarship, which is even a wonderful thing, right? So how
Yeah.
did you manage to do that? And when you were in Syria, because you already told that there was so much less electricity and so much less resources, how do you get to know about these fellowships? Because how much exposure were you getting so that you know about this stuff?
The good thing that I just applied the scholarship, I got it for my master's in Russia, where I didn't suffer from all that issues. I was already studying, like from my own fund, or by I was paying myself for the first year of Russian language. But within that time, I could apply for the scholarship, and I didn't suffer at all. However, the most challenging time was when I applied for the PhD, where I already waited for 9 months to get my visa, and I couldn't have an appointment. And I traveled from Russia to another country to apply for a visa. And yeah, I got late to come here, and but finally I managed to do it, and I came after 9 months of suffering, really. Then I was a bit like lucky to say to apply for the Russian one, but for the European one, it was a bit challenging.
Oh, so you mean that being from Syria is a difficult thing when you have to apply for visa in Europe, right? Like for Germany, it was a bit
Uh,
difficult for you to get the visa.
yeah, to get the visa to Germany is way difficult to get it from Syria because you can't just apply there. No embassies working by that time, and in Russia it's not really available, and you have to wait for many months to get an appointment, and you have to wait as well many months to get the visa afterwards. For that, it is challenging in Russia, but it's way challenging in Syria since we don't have embassies.
Oh my God. So basically, it's like a kind of a discrimination which you feel, or a kind of difficulty the nationality poses upon once you want to get to
Yeah.
another country.
Actually, the country's situation, the war affected a lot of students. I was among them, but yeah, finally we managed.
And when you were studying in Syria, I mean, I also have this curiosity. What was the condition of women that time? Now it is worse, we all know that. But what
Yeah.
was the condition at that time?
To be honest, it was not that difficult, but we still were suffering. We
Hmm?
still were suffering since it's not really common for women to work beside studying. Like, if you don't have a certificate, it's not easy to work there
Yeah.
as a woman. This is one of the most challenging things that I noticed by that time,
Oh my God.
that it was not really available to work since we don't have certificates. Then you are a student, you might just suffer from the financial issue of your family maybe, and you can't work as well. This is one of the most problems there.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
So, but now they are not allowed at all, right?
Actually, it's not risky, even if it is allowed. I guess it's not really common. Kidnapping is on, everything is messy. Then I don't really recommend it to anyone, even if it's allowed or common.
Oh, okay. And do you think that if we go by a number, how many girls would have made it to the point that you have going for another country for your masters, then going for a PhD in another country, then switching your country again? Then what can be the percentage of the women who actually would have made it to the place that you have?
To be honest, I can't really tell an exact number, but I can say that two less numbers managed to do that.
Okay.
We have a very how to say it, a very ambitious girls who managed to go to India to study their
Oh,
PhD, and I see that really good thing to do because they managed to take this scholarship from our country to go to India, and
oh,
since
okay.
they managed to get it means that they are really superior ones. Yeah, two less numbers. Some of them are in Italy, I know them, but really less numbers. And others are trying to equalify their certificates as a pharmacist here in Germany to proceed their working here because they can do that without passing some exams and learning German languages. But actually, who are proceeding with their masters or their PhD are two less.
Ah, okay. So majorly people actually went for either having a certificate so they can practice their profession in the country or to pursue some studies,
Yeah.
mostly masters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now, okay, so now when you move from Syria to Russia, how did you interpret that cultural change? How was it for you? I'm sure it would have been good, but the language is also a
Mm-hmm.
barrier when you move to another country. So, how did you cope up with that kind of cultural change from Syria to Russia? Was it like another world for you?
It was really shocked for me. Like it shocked me. Yeah,
Okay.
at the beginning because there when I reached the place, I was not really able to speak Russian very well, and I
Yeah.
was barely saying some words. But
Okay.
and there they don't want or they less numbers really able to speak English fluently.
Oh.
In Russia, I mean that because yeah, actually it's not common to learn it, I guess. But now it's a bit different. But before, like 5, 6 years, it was not really common
Ah, okay.
or according to the place where I was.
Hmm.
But I after like a few months, I started to love the place where I was, and I started just not really want to go back to my country, and I was just dreaming about the time where I can just persuade my family to move to my place and not just go back to my country since it was not really in a good situation by that time. Yeah.
So, and then when you were doing your masters in Russia and you did your bachelor's in your home country, how difficult was it to do a master's in a country where, so I don't know if the master's in Russia is in Russian language or it's in English.
Mhm.
And then how difficult was for you to, comprehend the things when you were doing a master's in a completely different situation because now the situations and the resources would have improved, competition would have been higher. So how did you manage that thing?
By the first year, I was just really insisting to complete my master's in the Russian language, not for
Okay.
anything, but just I would like to be really involved in this culture, to
Okay.
know more about it because since you didn't study like subjects in this language, you will not really want to learn it more.
Okay.
By that time, they just convinced us just don't do it in Russian. You will not really understand that much, and
Mm.
we can offer you an English one, the English version of the same discipline or specialty, and it's already only like specified for or special for internationals.
Mm.
And really, I applied to this program after I was just really insisting to go to the Russian one. And we were all internationals, and we were around 10. It was even in English, but even it was in English, but it was really like too intensive. And
Okay.
like as I spent months, I didn't know how the street looked like by that time because since the exam started, I have like no time to breathe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we took around the 24 subjects and
Okay.
with too many homeworks and exams and but I after I finished
Mm.
that master's, I really say that I learned a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are the people in Russia? Because it's always like Russia is also not in a very good situation because they are also in a war-like situation with Ukraine right now. We all
Yeah.
know that. So, I mean, I don't really know when it started, but was it started when you were in Russia? Was it already going? And did it have any impact upon the university or your funding or your resources stuff? And how are people in Russia? Because, like, are they very much welcoming? They are warm, or they are a bit okay, keeping your distance. How are they?
Actually, the war started by when I was really writing my thesis, finishing it in the last 4 months, and it was a bit risky or a bit like not really stable to say that there is some possibilities that I can't really do my full PhD because resources were like saved by that time because they were really afraid that it might really depleted by the time and no way to get more from outside because the economical situation was really not good.
Hmm.
And actually, it impacted in somehow like we couldn't use like enough materials or we couldn't have enough ones to do all the experiments. For example, if I would like to use a specific enzyme, I have to really be like really careful that I can't get more from it. Uh, Thanks God, it didn't really affect us, but we were really afraid and like taking care of the situation that it might be worse by the time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The economical situation isn't good right now, but previously when I was doing my master, it wasn't that bad. It was still acceptable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and how are the people in Russia? Were they welcoming towards you when you moved there?
They were really welcoming and they were, yeah, we can say that they were really professional at work, but
Mhm.
outside the work, yeah, a lot of people are welcoming and they are really welcome to make any conversation with you if you wanna improve your Russian language or something like that. Yeah.
And also I want to know, since you just mentioned about that when you were there and the war started in the last 4 months when you were writing your thesis at that point of time. And so was it like you could, if there were current PhDs who were actually doing the PhD around you, they were getting their salaries, or were they not getting their salaries? Or how was the money situation for the people who were already there with you doing their PhDs?
In terms of salaries, I can say that it was really fine because the salaries were not really available all the months. Some months we couldn't receive, others we received because of grants issues and financial resource. Yeah, it impacted in this side, to be honest. Yeah.
And how did you survive without salaries on your accounts
Uh,
for months?
from family, from parents, like that.
And when you were not getting salaries, so were you given any reason for, okay, you are not getting the salary, or was it like, okay, this month we are not getting and there is no explanation from any side? Were there anything like that?
Yeah, the problem was that this issue or this problem was already affecting everybody. Then this issue is applying to everybody. Then no way, what to do? All of us are suffering from the same thing. Then yeah, no grant. You have to accept this, otherwise you have to quit from your master or PhD.
So at that point of time, when these things were going on in Russia, so there were also less research grants, I'm assuming, that were given to Russian PIs. So did it ever lead to labs getting shut down?
Yeah, too many ones got shut down by that time, and what I remember that I just forgot what to say exactly, but restrict some restrictions because of in terms of publications too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we were not really able to publish everywhere.
Ah, so it's basically like the war impacted all the research there.
Yeah, even the scientific side.
And can you tell me, like, the how was the scene for the taxes in Russia then?
The taxes actually are not really high.
Okay.
Like what I remember, around like not more than 10%
Hmm.
or even less. something like 9-10%.
Oh, they're very less then compared to
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
And one more thing, like you were in Russia and you were facing all these things, and you know that, now you are in this field.
Mm-hmm.
This field is not really rewarding in terms of money,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you were, even if when you were getting your stipend, it was very less. I
Uh-huh.
assume. It's not really high stipend,
Yeah.
right? Then why did you actually choose to do a PhD then?
Actually, if we want to think about the money issue, nobody will do his PhD. You have just to sacrifice with this few years, 4 or maybe 5 months, but afterward you will be in a luxury. This is what I am ambitious about, and this is what made me patient just to wait till I finish my PhD, and after that, all the doors will open to me.